Rob. Came for a visit.
Danny, it's always good to see you. I'm glad you came over.
Oh, it's great.
How are you?
Oh, good. How you doing, Rob?
Well, I'm doing well, but I thought you might be interested in seeing my latest addition to Heirloom Custom Toys.
Yeah.
This is the new line of doll houses that I'm coming out with. It's called Lake Watch.
Oh, cool.
And there's going to be 3 doll houses in that series. This one is the first one, and it's called Cozy Cottage.
Oh, wow.
And it's called Cozy Cottage because I think it has all the details of a typical cottage in this community that we live in that makes all these homes actually kind of cozy. So Cozy Cottage, right?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of it?
Oh, it looks really nice. I like the blue painting that you did and the inside craftsmanship of the dollhouse, too. Looks really cool.
And this is the back side of it.
Wow.
So people can do any kind of decor or whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And all these doors open and close.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of cool. The other thing about this is that my standard size doll houses, as you know, are about twice the size.
Mm-hmm.
And this is only 24 inches high. My standard ones are close to 50 inches high.
Mm-hmm.
So being that it's half the size, I'm offering it essentially half the price. So
cool.
it's a way for people to buy one of my signed and dated doll houses that's not going to break the bank.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, Danny is a very, very interesting guy. As I mentioned, he's my neighbor, and I've known Danny now, about 6 months, I think.
Yeah, I think that's correct, yeah.
Yeah, when we first moved in here. And he collects vacuum cleaners. Now, Danny, tell us a little bit about your collection. I know you've got a lot of them. How many do you have?
I have about 103, 107 machines in my collection.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I've seen his collection, by the way. He has, I think he calls it a warehouse, right?
Yes, I do.
In your basement.
Yep.
And they are all lined up like in a showroom. I mean, they're absolutely perfect. It just amazes me that you can restore them, because sometimes you get them, they're in pretty bad shape, right?
Oh, yeah, I've gotten them in pretty beat up shape, but I've taken them apart, I've washed all the parts down, and I polished them, and when I put them back together, they look like when they were brand new again.
And I can attest to that because they're amazing. And tell the folks a little bit about how you got into collecting vacuum cleaners in the first place. How did you do that?
Sure, yeah. So actually how it started was when I was a baby. I have sensitive hearing when I was like around 2 years old, and I have autism too as well. But how it started was one day my older cousin was playing with the vacuum switch, and I didn't like it at all. And so then...
It's a loud noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he told me, he said there's nothing to be worried about, it's just a vacuum doing its job. And then once I heard that, I just got so obsessed. And then after that, like, I didn't start collecting until I was like in 10th grade in high school.
Well, how do you actually acquire them? Do you buy them from somebody that you know has one for sale, or do you do other things?
I bought them from like other vacuum collector friends. I also buy my vacuums on like Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, estate sales, all that place.
Oh, wow. You ever sell any?
I've sold a few on Marketplace and here and there, so the friends.
Being a collector of many things in my lifetime, I always hate to part with something I have part of my collection, so I think you're probably the same way.
Oh yeah, it's whenever I have a vacuum that I have to get rid of, I'm kind of the same way. It's like I decide if I want to keep it or not, usually. So.
Well, Danny is so technical when it comes to these vacuum cleaners. I remember him telling me a couple of times when I was down in his warehouse that he knows the serial numbers of many of the parts of these vacuum cleaners. That's pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, no, my favorite vacuum brand is Hoover, but like
That's the Hoover shirt.
Oh yeah, and got the Hoover on too as well. How I know the serial number and the model number is with the Hoover vacuums on the older ones. If you look at the first 4-digit numbers, the first 2 tell you the month, and then the second 2 tell you the year. And one of my favorite vacuums in my collection, it's a Hoover Wind Tunnel Deluxe. The reason why it's my favorite is it's the same age as me. I was born in the year 1997. And how I know that is I looked at the serial number, and it was made November of 1997.
Well, what's the oldest vacuum cleaner you have in your collection?
Yeah, the oldest vacuum that I have in my collection, it's a 1921 Hoover 105.
1921?
Yep.
Wow. I think I do remember seeing that down in your warehouse.
Oh yeah, you might have.
Yeah, so my mother used to have an old Kirby,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a very heavy stand-up cleaner, but it was, you could just tell it was really good quality,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing ever went wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
But today's vacuum cleaners, I hate to say it, but a lot of them are just made of plastic, and plastic parts. What's your thoughts about the quality of those kinds of vacuum cleaners opposed to like the Kirby my mother used to have?
I would say the quality today, it's not as good as it used to be. Like, pretty much now, it's just kind of like cheap plastic and stuff like that. And, like, with my older, like, with your Kirby's and then my older Hoovers, like, I know Hoover's history. I know their company's history really well. And their original factory was in North Canton, Ohio. But the company that owns them now is called TTI Floor Care, Tektronic Floor Care, which their headquarters is in Glen Willow, Ohio, and then North Carolina as well, too. A lot of the vacuums they make today they're okay, but I would say machines today I would call are like disposable. What I mean by disposable is it's only going to last you like a few months, basically.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I have two other questions for you, but then I think I want to take a little field trip. I want to go down into your warehouse and show the folks what your cleaners look like. But what are the three favorite cleaners that you have?
My three favorite cleaners that I have are my Hoover One Tunnel Deluxe, and then my Sears Craftsman 16-gallon shop vac, and then the third one I think is my Hoover Elite 700.
Are you ever going to stop collecting? I mean, could you, right now you get what, 103, 105, 107,
Yeah.
something like that? Would you ever get to 150, 200?
Maybe someday.
Or are you limited, as to your space, and your mom and dad said, okay, you can only have so many vacuum cleaners?
I'm mostly limited. Like, the rule I have with my parents is like if I get rid of one vacuum, like if I get another vacuum, if I get one vacuum has to go out.
Oh,
Basically.
well, that's a good rule. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. We're going to take a walk next door, and we're going to go down into Danny's warehouse and check out his vacuum cleaners. So stay where you are, and we'll be with you in, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
All right. Bye for now.
See ya.
So here we are in the basement of Danny's parents' home, and this is Danny's vacuum clean warehouse. And Danny, I know you're going to give us a guided tour, but you can tell us how you actually organize these things.
Sure. Yeah, so I have them organized in different like categories usually. I have them, for example, I have like my Hoover Elite machines organized from the oldest to newest usually, and then I did kind of the same thing with the other machines too.
Well, what I find fascinating too, and you'll see that, is Danny also has his work desk where he works on a lot of these models and restoring them. But on the floor, you're going to see he's currently working on 2 Hoovers that you'll get an idea of how he actually organizes that and keeps track of what he's doing. And so it's very fascinating. So all that's coming up in just a moment.
Hi guys, I'm about to show you give you a tour of my vacuum cleaner collection here. So to start it off, here's all my Hoover Elite machines over here. My oldest one right over here is my Hoover Elite 700. That is from 1988. You can see how good it's in good shape too. This I bought off of Facebook Marketplace, and some of my other ones came as well from different places as well too. Alrighty guys, so this here is my Hoover One Tunnel Deluxe machine. The reason why this is my favorite is it's actually the same age as me, and we both still work actually too. And I also have the original factory service manual for it too as well. And I also have a tape measure, a puzzle cube, and an original advertising poster for it as well too. Alrighty guys, here's more of my Hoover Elite machines that I'm working on right now. As you see, I have 2 of the Elites I'm working on. I have a Hoover Elite 200 here and a Hoover Elite 300. These parts I'm actually servicing and cleaning as well too. I'm washing all the parts and polishing them, and they'll be back together soon. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to show you more here in my collection. This is the predecessor to
the Kirby vacuum. This is a Royal vacuum. It looks and acts just the same way as a Kirby, but it's actually lighter than a Kirby. And I think your mom used to have a Kirby too, Rob. I know as well.
That's right, she did. Yeah. Hmm.
This is kind of it's a little bit different.
Hers
though.
was like mid-50s.
It's just kind of the same, but the material's just different. Instead of metal, it's actually all aluminum and stainless steel.
Wow.
And this guy right here, this
Now
is
that looks really old to me.
it is actually. This is my oldest vacuum here in my collection. This is from 1921. It's a Hoover 105. What's very interesting about it is back then when it first came out, you would actually have to put electric motor oil because the motor's a lubricated motor system. Because when electricity was brand new at the time, like that's just how they designed the motor. But yeah, and it has a cloth cord on it too as well.
Wow. That is so cool.
These are all my Hoover convertibles right here. This is from 1986. That is from 1977, and then that one is late 50s, early 60s, around that year. And then I have some more over there too as well. That one is from 1961. That's a Hoover Dial-O-Matic. That's a 1979 Hoover Conquest. And
You know what I love about all these vacuum cleaners that come from that same era is the colors. I mean, they really had that kind of disco color. You know, you got the turquoise, you got the lime green, you got all these wonderful colors.
yeah, it kind of looks like it too. Yeah, and then this also too. This is my red convertible here. This was actually a Kmart exclusive to the Kmart back in the day as well.
Really?
This right over here is my 2004 Hoover Wind Tunnel Turbo Power 6500 bagless. This I got as a high school graduation gift from one of my vacuum collector friends. Works great. This right here is my 2003 self-propelled twin chamber bagless. This I got from the same collector friend who I got my Turbo Power from. And then this right over here is my 2000 Hoover Wind Tunnel self-propelled Ultra. This was my mom's vacuum, and it's also my childhood machine. And we bought this brand new at Target, and we've had it since it was new. And then this machine right over here, this is a very rare vacuum. This is my 1993 Hoover Power Max. The reason why I say it's rare is because a lot of vacuum collectors like me, we go crazy when we find this machine. It's very uncommon to see one of these. And then this right here, this is my monster vacuum. This is a 1987 Hoover Conquest. The reason why I say it's a monster machine is because it has a really good beater bar on it. And this is what you would use like in commercial buildings like schools, offices, and hospitals, you name it. Alrighty, so here's some other machines too. This is my 1989 Sears Craftsman 8-gallon wet dry shop vac here. This I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. It works great. Originally, I was going to save this as a parts machine, but then I was getting one of these from another collector friend of mine. But then I was like, you know what? Let's just his plans changed, so I didn't know what to do with it. So I was like, you know what? Let's add it to the collection. And then over here, I have two Bissell stick vacs. That is a Bissell 3-way. That is a featherweight. The 3-way I bought at Walmart. The featherweight came from a Salvation Army thrift store. And then I have a 1990 Hoover Quick Broom 2 with a 3.5 amp motor in it, 2-speed. That I got from one of my old friends. And then right over there is a Hoover Lark Hoover Lark stick vac from 1961. And that's what I have over here. Alrighty, here's another machine here in my collection. This is my second favorite vacuum in my collection. This is a 1993 Sears Craftsman shop vac. This is my big 16-gallon shop vac. I love this thing. Originally, I got this off of Facebook Marketplace. It came from a custom car designer. When I got it, it was all beat up and stuff, but I put a new filter, new wheel casters, and a new hose fitting in it, and now it works great. I love this thing. The only person that doesn't love it is my dad because he can't stand the noise of it.
It looks brand new.
Oh, thank you.
I
Thanks,
mean, it's
Rob.
just incredible how you restore these things.
Thank you. I love it too. In my opinion, this is one of my favorite shop vacs too. Alrighty, so these guys right here, these are my Hoover Constellations. This one right here, I think it's from 1958. This I actually got from one of my
The
vacuum.
orange one.
Yep, this is the orange one here. This one is.
Now that sort of, would you say it hovers or rotates or?
It actually, yeah, it kind of hovers. So when you use it, it kind of like actually Hoover's gimmick was when it came out, it actually floats on air, they called it. So there's actually right on the bottom under here, there's actually a little air, there's a little blower under here, and the air comes right out of here, and when you turn on the switch, it'll kind of like hover with you when you vacuum.
Oh, isn't that
basically.
cool?
Yeah.
I love the orange.
Oh, thank you. That I got from one of my collector friends. He owns a vacuum shop out in Oneida, New York. This right here, this is a later model. This is the same model, same name, Constellation. This is a 12 amp one. This I got from one of my vacuum collector friends. This is the same exact thing. The only difference though is it's just a modernized version of that one.
And it's a bigger motor.
And yeah, it has a bigger motor. And over here, I also have two big Hoover canisters. The gray, this tan one, is a 1989 Hoover Dimension 1000. This I got from one of my collector friends who got it at his local high school garage sale. This is like Hoover's canister, big canister from the 80s. That one right there is a 1985 Hoover Dimension 900. The 900 is actually more rare than the 1000 because I think the 900 was only sold in like vacuum cleaner stores, and Hoover had their own service centers too back in the day. I call them Hoover stores. So alrighty guys, so here's some more vacuums in my boiler room and part of my warehouse too. So right here, this is a very rare Vax vacuum. This was sold in the UK and United Kingdom. This was exclusive to Sears. This vacuum I actually use for vacuuming other vacuums when I work on projects and have customer machines, and that one works great. And then over here, I have two Hoover Wind Tunnel machines. This is a Hoover Wind Tunnel Self-Propelled Anniversary Edition, and that is a Hoover Wind Tunnel Supreme. These guys are going to be going up for sale soon. I just got to go through and clean them and service them. I have more vacuums over there too. This is also part of my warehouse. I have a bunch of vacuum hoses. I keep all my vacuum hoses in here, and I have parts ones too as well. And then over there, I have some more attachments too. And then
what do you got down here? You got a whole bunch of things down here as well.
Yeah, so those are actually power nozzles. I have a wind tunnel canister power nozzle, and then I have a bunch of other parts laying around in there too as well.
You got parts all over the place here, Dan.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have more vacuums, and those are Dirt Devil hand vacs right over there, and I have a bunch of stuff.
And then up here is what?
These are all parts. These are all vacuum parts. I have everything from motors to cords, bags, filters, you name it, basically. And I have more stuff over here. That is a Hoover part right there. And that right there is I have my own vacuum business as well, too, as well. I made that sign. These are all other Hoover parts right here. That's another box. I have two very rare Hoover boxes, too.
Oh wow!
That's a 1950s Hoover box that I got from one of my vacuum collector friends. That came from a vacuum shop in Erie, Pennsylvania, actually.
Wow!
And then this box, this came from a vacuum shop in Ohio called John Gregory's Sweep Shop.
Huh?
It's a box of a commercial Hoover Elite, actually. And then I have casters. That is a Hoover steam vac clean tank up there. I have, those are Sears Craftsman motors up there. Then I have more Hoover parts. Those are Hoover wind tunnel motors up there. That's a Buster B canister. That is a Heritage 2 that I'm using as a Kirby that I'm using as a part machine too.
Danny, you are running out of space. In fact, I think you ran out of space.
I have it pretty full in here. There's lots of parts.
And there's one more that I want to talk about, and that is this one down here.
Oh yeah, so this machine, this little carpet sweeper I got from one of my neighbors. She had it in her porch for a long time. Originally the stick is actually missing, but it's a very old carpet sweeper. I think it's from like the late early 1900s or something like that.
Wow.
It works, but I haven't got to it quite yet. So
I'm old, but I kind of remember those, but I was not as far back as that. But I think those are very cool.
yeah, they're very interesting. The carpet sweepers, the old antique sweepers, are very rare. Those are very hard to find. This is the Kirby Heritage 2 vacuum that I had. I know this is a little bit newer here, Rob, but this is my Kirby that I use. I got this from one of my very good vacuum collector friends who I got the turbo power and the wind tunnel self-propelled bagless from. This works great, and it's my daily Kirby driver right here too, I would say. And then this is a very interesting machine. This is my first full-size upright, but it's battery powered.
Battery powered.
Yep.
Wow.
The battery actually goes right under where...
Oh, I see it under here.
Yeah, you kind of see where it goes.
Yeah, I do see it, yeah.
Yeah, the battery pack's on my repair table. You actually put the battery right in there, and then you can get... This has like a 2-speed motor on it too as well. This machine is brand new. It's from 2020. I got it as a Christmas gift that year as well.
Now, does that have the same kind of suction power feel of a direct wire connection opposed to a battery?
It has about the same suction
Yeah, okay.
to, yeah, I would say. And then right over there, that's a sanitary vacuum. That's actually a commercial vacuum, but they would use it as home lineup. That is a twin chamber Hoover Elite bagless, and then right in the back right there, that's actually a backpack vacuum. It kind of looks like
a backpack.
looks like a Ghostbusters vacuum, sort of.
It does.
That is a 1950s Hoover convertible. I'm not sure the correct year on that one.
Wow.
That I got as a Christmas gift. And then I have a couple more over here. Those are some wind tunnel canisters.
What is that one right there, the blue one?
Oh, the blue one?
What is that?
That is a...
It looks like a Jetson thing out of the Jetsons or something.
It kind of does. That is a, I think it's a 1971 Hoover Celebrity 2 canister.
Wow.
And then that's a Celebrity Quiet series. It kind of looks, yeah, it looks like something from the Jetsons,
Yeah, it does.
basically.
I love it.
Those are my Hoover canisters right there. And I have a couple more over there, too, as well.
Wow.
But, yeah, those are, these vacuums I keep in here are just, like, for just, I just, ones that I don't display, I just keep them in here for storage, basically.
Well, I love them.
But, yeah.
Okay, Danny, I think that's fabulous.
Yeah.
So let's go back into the main warehouse for a second. Well, Danny, I got to tell you something. This has been so interesting. Even though I've been down here before, every time I come down here, I learn something new. And I mean, your collection is phenomenal.
Oh, thank you, Rob. I'm glad you enjoyed seeing a tour of my collection.
Yeah, I did, and I think our viewers are going to love it as well. And so we'll put up Danny's information on the screen. So if you want to email him directly, you can, and learn more about Danny's vacuum cleaner collection.
Sure, go right ahead. Also, I also have my own YouTube channel as well too. It's just under my name. My last name is McElroy, Danny McElroy. Feel free to check out my channel, and I post all my vacuum stuff on there, and I share a lot of information about my collection.
Fantastic. All right, folks. I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you the next time.
See you guys. Nice seeing you.